have hit a lovely hurdle. Excuse me, can you move, please? I began with the yarn and I had this ball of acrylic and I had it for a couple years. I just wanted to use it up. It was a really pretty color, as you can see. So my idea was to make a top out of it. I believe the yarn is Red Heart Gemstone. I don't know what the colorway is, but it's got oranges and browns and reds and greens. As I said, I bought it a couple years ago. I don't know if it's even still available, but I wanted to create something that would only use one skein, so I could just get rid of it and be done with it. So I found this pattern. I believe it's called the Tia top. I have to double check that. And my idea was to take that pattern because it was a tank top that had wide straps, which was essentially what I wanted, and I wanted it to be stockinette. I wanted it to be super easy. Thing was that the gauge was different, and I decided to go against the grain, so to speak, use larger needles because my yarn was larger than the pattern. I tried to do the calculations. I used big brain energy. It was very complicated because of the increases and just the construction and trying to get the math right with the different gauge. And what ended up happening was I liked the feel of the fabric, the drape of it, but it came out way too large for my body. As you can see, I guess I'll just throw it on right now and kind of show. The worst part is obviously this front. And as you can tell, I ran out of yarn, decided to use a black to create a trim, both around the sleeves, like the armpits, and the collar and the bottom hem. This is definitely my least favorite part. It droops down way too low. This is where my cleavage begins, and this is obviously where the shirt lands. The sleeves come out way too long. They're just too wide because the opening is just too wide. This is about as long as I made it, which is still cropped a bit. Sorry, I'm wearing my lounge pants, and you can see from the side the way that it falls on my body is just not, what I'm vibing. The back looks pretty nice though, and actually the colors turned out really nice. I like the way, because it's constructed, I've already forgotten this, but I think it was like this side and this side were done at separate times. So I liked the fact that I've got one orange side, I've got one red side, and then stripes down at the bottom just so happened to fall that way. And so I really like that. It's just, this is how wide it goes, and I'm not even stretching it. It's heavy. I wanted it as like a summer top. I mean, I'm stretching it with an acrylic. It's hard to wear in the summer just because it feels very heavy. It feels thick. But yeah, I'm not loving it. And the way this like curls in, I mean, blocking might help that, but I don't think it will actually. it's disappointing because I spent pretty much an entire week straight knitting this. And it's not what I wanted. So really at this point, the only reason I would keep it is because I'm butthurt that I wasted so much time on it. I mean, it looks really nice color-wise, but I'm never gonna wear it, you know, because I don't like the way it lays on my body. It's just not the right size for me. And what a disappointment that is, to pull it out and try something different. Use the yarn again. Yeah. Not feeling good about that. So in order to try to make something in the midst of disappointment and failure, I've decided, let's lean you back a little bit here. I've decided that I want to make a headband. I feel like that would be a quick project. I recently saw someone wearing what looked like a knit headband on Instagram, and I was like, I want one of those. So what I've gone and done is I wanted to create a lace headband. I have this leftover, it's actually wool, not the best for like summertime headband, but because it is a fingering weight and it's gonna be lace, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. So I went on Pinterest, not Instagram. I was gonna say Instagram, but I went on Pinterest and I found this lace pattern, which is just called Vine Lace. And initially I started with this traveling vine, and let me zoom in for that, which looks beautiful, and it actually kind of reminds me of like a bear footprint. For some reason, every single alternate purl row, I was getting the wrong amount of stitches, and it was driving me crazy. Even if I was watching on a YouTube tutorial and I got the first 2 rows right, and I was like, okay, I've got this. I got down to row 8, a purl row, and suddenly my stitch count was off again. And I was like, you know what? Today is not the day for this. And also discovered that I've been doing a slip slip knit wrong my entire knitting career, for lack of a better word, which is interesting. I did not know that. And I've also been doing yarn overs wrong, and that now makes sense why every time I've done yarn overs I've like struggled. I do a yarn over like crochet and not just like pulling the yarn forward and then doing the next stitch. You learn, you live and you learn, right? But this is where I'm at now. It doesn't look grand at the moment, and I'm really struggling to hold this up. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Let's do this. Is that right? I think that's about right. Yeah, obviously it's gonna need a blocking, but I'm like excited about it, and it is a bit thicker than I wanted it to be, but I think now I'm questioning myself. Maybe I should have done 1 repeat and not 2, but then I wouldn't have been able to see the lace pattern well. Oh no, now I'm questioning things. Excuse me. Yeah. And so we'll see where that goes. I was hoping it would be just like, you know, turning out a new finished object, but now I'm not so sure this is what I want, because I don't want that thick of I have a small head, and I don't want that thick of, oh my goodness. Filming cats is always a good idea. Now I want something half the size. Like I said, oh, there's a good way to use my pale skin as a white background to show you. No, that's not. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm not having a good day knitting wise, I will say that. Not too bad spinning wise. I'm almost done with this Jacob's yarn, that wool I've been spinning, and almost ready to ply my 2 singles. So hopefully we have a win coming, because man, it's a gut punch. I'm gonna call it quits here and get on with the rest of my night. I realized after that moment that I was gonna pull out. I was gonna pull out the headband. And honestly, 1 repeat is actually perfect. And of course now I've got fucking milkmaid braids, but this is really what I was going for. And you know what? Not the most, okay, can you stop moving the camera? Not the most flattering color for my hair. Maybe if I put some more pink in it, it would be nicer. And the cat is eating my yarn. Okay. Anyway, I'm really happy with it. And honestly, because there's only 1 repeat, it goes a lot faster, and I'm pretty much nearly close to what I want, because it is a beautiful lace. If I were to pull it, you kind of lose what it looks like, so I my intention, we'll see how this works out, none of my intentions ever really play out well, is to kind of have a loose headband, not loose, but like, I don't want to pull it super tight, so it's gonna be, honestly, I don't know. We're just winging it and seeing what happens, okay? Hopefully it works out. When I tell you it pretty much never works out for me when I wing it, and I still continue to wing it, you would classify me as crazy, but that is already a fact, so we don't need to do that. But yeah, that's where we're at. So I thought I would just show you how super simple this lace pattern is to do. I've only got one repeat here, but obviously if you've added on more, you can really get something stunning. And it's very, very simple. If you've ever been intimidated by lace, I feel you. I was there myself yesterday. But this pattern is very, very simple, and you'll get it down super quickly. So you're gonna have, first start with casting on a multiple of 9 and then add 4 stitches to that. So I've just got 9 here, and then I've added 4. But obviously you can do more than that if that's what you're looking for. And holy hell, we've got a tangle. Okay, this is what you get for only having circular needles for a flat pattern. Okay, so our first row is going to be a wrong side row, and we're just literally going to purl our way across. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing. But if you don't know how to purl and you're watching a lace video, what are you even doing, you monster? And thankfully I don't have too many stitches to purl that you have to watch me as I struggle along holding my arms up like this in front of the camera. There we go, we've made it. So now row 1, turn our work to the right side. And the best way to figure out what row you're on, did I say that it's a 2-row repeat? It's essentially a 2-row repeat. Both the rows are almost identical. And then there's obviously a purl row between. So when you start out, if you see here, obviously if you're beginning, you're not going to have anything here to work with. But as you move along, you'll see here we've got 1, 2 stitches, and then this circle here is our yarn over, this diagonal stitch is our yarn over. So what we're going to do is, because we've got 2 here, we're going to do our knit 3 row. So we're going to start off just knitting 1, 2, 3. And now we begin our pattern repeat. So first we're going to yarn over, literally just bring your yarn into the front, and then we're going to knit 2 stitches. This can be kind of fiddly, getting used to it. It might be easier English style, but you can see here we've got our yarn over here and our knit stitch here. And then we're just going to knit 1 more. Then we're going to do SSK, slip, slip, knit. So you're going to take a stitch from your left needle to your right needle. You're going to move as if to knit and just plop it right onto your needle. Then we're going to move them back over to our left needle. And because we're going to knit through the back loops, I just leave it in here like that and knit it off. And then we're going to knit 2 together, which we just start down here at the second stitch, knit them both together, and then we knit 2, 1, 2, then we're going to yarn over again and knit 1, and then just knit this final stitch. If you were to have a pattern repeat, obviously this is where you would repeat it here. Don't knit this final stitch until the end. Then we've got our purl row again. Nothing changes for that. We just purl again. Yay, we made it. Okay, and now here's our second row. And this is where it helps to count. So you can see in our last row, what we did was we knit 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we did our yarn over, which is right here. And this is our yarn over stitch. Here's our yarn over gap. So now this time we're gonna do a knit 2 row. That's the only difference here, is how many you knit to begin with. You either start off knitting 3 or start off knitting 2. So on this one, last time we did 3, so this time we're going to knit 1, 2, then we yarn over and we knit 2. Then we slip, slip, knit. Whoops. Obviously, if they fall off, you just put the 2 in through the back loop, knit. Then we knit 2 together, knit 1, 2, yarn over, knit 1. That ends your pattern repeat. On this one, we have 2 stitches left over at the end. We knit 1, 2, and there you go. Those are your 4 rows. Purl, then the starting with knit 3, then purl, starting with knit 2, and that's literally it. And you get such an intricate looking lace with some leaning stitches, and you can feel like a pro, because I certainly do. Thanks for watching, yay! I don't have it to show you, but I finished plying a Jacob's wool that I was spinning at work, which is super exciting. And I do plan on making, I've got big intentions for these spinning videos I want to make, but the thing is, they're like kind of long process videos, and I don't know if I want to split them up so that they don't take like a month to go. What I want to do is go from having the fiber to spinning it, first singles, then plying it, then I want to wash it, you know, make it into yarn, and then I want to knit something with it. And eventually some of them I've gotten white, which I'd love to be able to dye. That could be really fun, but obviously that entire process takes a long time. It does take a bit of a time, and I want to do like a bit of an educational aspect to it as I learn about the different breeds and what their characteristics are, as well as like how I viewed spinning that breed as a beginner, and how simple it is or difficult, depending on what it is. But yeah, so that's my intention of what I'd like to do. I don't know if I want to split up and make it like a 2-part for each breed that I do. The first part is just strictly spinning, and then the second part is knitting, because at this point I don't even know what I'm gonna knit with that yarn. I really don't know. I'm thinking about making maybe like a blanket, something where I can just make patches and then kind of like stitch them or sew them together. Trying to combine a bunch of different wools, probably different quantities into like a garment is probably way too difficult. So a blanket is like a catch-all, pretty much. I haven't figured out what I want to do with that. If I want to like learn a new stitch pattern or something with each wool that I spend, I don't know. Then I'm just adding more more time to those. Maybe there'll be like a month-long process video. I don't know, but I'm working on it. I'm spinning, and that's about it. Okay, that's my only update for you now. I didn't work on anything else today. Hopefully finish this headband. I do like to take a nap, so we'll see how much gets done today. And holy crap, dead plant. Don't look at that. I completely forgot all about this massive knitting project I've got going on here. I don't think I've mentioned it in a video at all. And I've got my needles stuck in here because one of my cats keeps wanting to eat my needles, and these are very expensive. If you know, you know. You don't be eating these. So, this is where I'm at so far. And what I'm making is a colorwork abstract tote bag. I've struggled hard with this. First of all, I haven't been able to get the pattern how I want it to look. The chart, it's at this point we're doing trial and error. I might end up scrapping or just trying. Hey! Little boy! That's not your food! Gideon! Oh my god. He's eating Peanut's food. Honestly, at this point, I don't care. I don't care. We're chill. We don't need this. He's gonna get fat, though. What was I saying? So I might end up scrapping it. Well, actually, I'm gonna try to finish it. Trust the process and finish it and see how it looks. And if it's shit, then we try our plan B, So, my current intention is to do a little bit of color work and then do finishing touches with embroidery. I don't know if I want to try doing one that's just color work, see what it looks like, see if anyone could even make out what it's intended to be, or if I'm gonna just do partial color work, partial embroidery, and finish it out with that. I'm using cotton, and I really love it. I've tried this. This is the Pima cotton. Is it Lion brand? I happen to have another one. And I actually really love this one. It's very soft. This one is shit. This one is a cotton as well, but it's a different kind of cotton. I want to say it's also Lion brand. I know what it is, but I also do not have anything here to show you. I don't know, but this one is really nice and I'm loving it. Anyway, so I'll show you the process of what I've got here. Basically what's happening is, where have I got this stored? Oh yeah, on Procreate. Okay, here we go. So this is what I'm attempting to do. okay? Putting lines like this, pixel, no. See, that's why I've thought maybe we stick with embroidery, because let me just show you what it looks like at the moment. Is this even the right file? I think I've got another one. Bear with me here. So here's kind of what I had. Honestly, I think if you know what it is, it's not too bad. It's woo! Also, if anyone has tips on pixel art on Procreate, I don't like stitch fiddle. I find it fiddly. Maybe it's just because I'm using the free version, but sorry, I don't like it. Doesn't work well. Dog. So I've been trying to do it on Procreate, and I did like 5 minutes of research on how to do. This is the crazy part, is that I saw a fucking TikTok or Instagram reel of some woman who was like small child was doing pixel art on what I'm pretty sure was Procreate. I don't really remember well. And I thought, so it's possible. And a child is doing it, so I could do it. And then all the tutorial videos that I looked at, I was like, oh, I'm too tired to learn this. So basically what I did was I imported a picture of a graph and then kind of just drew over top of the pixels how I wanted it. I'm happy with my wording. The size, as you can see, is a bit more square than a tote, than my original tote, which was more rectangular. And good God, look at what it was originally, where I was like, I'm just gonna put the colors, I'm just gonna put the color blocks in here, and then we'll just add from there. Again, I truly don't know where I'm going with this. As you can tell, I'm just at the bottom. I think I started and I decided I was gonna go this method, only because this is the file that was open when I opened Procreate. So I'm trying to think of like, what was past Kara thinking? Because I actually thought I was going with the other method, to be honest. Anyway, you might see that in the future. Like I said, every time I try to wing it and do something, you know, original, it never it pretty much 9 out of 10 times never works out for me. I should really stop trying. But anyway, so the kicker with that is that I'm going to see Billy Martin on, I believe it's the end of June 24th, I think. So I'm hoping to have it done by then, and then I can gift it, because I did meet her last year and people brought gifts, and I was like, well, fuck, I want to do that, and I can knit. Can I though? Anyway, so that's my intention. I've got like about a month and a half to figure it out, and we got this, okay? We got this. Do I just keep pulling out just random projects instead of working on it? Yes. But, oh, nice back crack. It is what it is. Oh my God, you're so cute! Oh. Okay, I need a nap now. I just got a fun little haul of stuff, which I also learned that I'm a bit of a dumbass, and you'll soon discover why that is. But the first thing I ordered was this blending board, which I've looked at quite a few different ones. This one's on the cheaper range of things. Just to start off with, it did come with this brush, but the reviews, wait till I get the plastic off so you can hear me, said that this brush sucked. So I did buy other brushes as well. It also came with these 2 rods, and I believe that was it. So I think this one, I want to say this is 12 by 12. They did have other like 9 by 9 ones. Decided go big or go home, you know? Then I bought, actually, you know what? I'm gonna assume this is the one that came with it, because this looks like a piece of shit, to be honest. And I think this one is the other one that I ordered. It was a pack of 2. They're a bit small, but hopefully they will do the job. And then the reason I'm a dumbass is apparently I ordered 2 different parting brushes. I also got these ones. I believe these 2 were $30 something, and these 2 were $15. At this point, am I gonna make it all the way to the post office? Not even the post office. I have to go to Whole Foods if I want to return an Amazon package. They feel about the same. But this one is a little stiffer, and as you can see, it's a bit smaller. This one actually does feel like a better quality than this one. This one really has a I might actually end up returning these. Keep the plastic. But yeah, this thing. What the fuck is this thing? Look at this. And it's like, okay. It's really misleading in the. I just love when people do that, you know. And yeah, so those were the. Oh, look at that, a little color mixing guide. I think this is for felting. Obviously, it's got like little felted dinosaurs. I am not into felting. I've never actually tried it, but not into it yet. Then here's the other fun thing that I've been looking at for at least a year now, and I finally was like, you know what? Just buy it. What are you waiting for? Just buy it. And it's a speed weave. So this is the one I got. Came in this cute little bag. Peanut, you're not gonna want to step on that. That is sharp. Oh, that's sharp. Why are you stepping on it? She's crazy. Came with this very sharp and long needle. I've never seen anything like that before. I've never done any weaving, okay? So I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I've got a ton of YouTube watching to get on with. It does have a little tutorial packet, which is really cool. My thing is, I'm very into like funky socks. I've got these ones on now. I have a lot of Halloween ones. They say get spooky. And obviously eventually holes are formed in socks, and I don't want to get rid of them because I love my cute little socks. So hence learning how to do a little weaving and fix my clothes. Apparently you can also fix jeans, which is really cool. I actually don't have any holes in my jeans, surprisingly, knock on wood. But I'm like really excited to learn how to use this, and now I need to find something to weave on. And I really love that. Wow. Weaving looks, I love the outcome. I'm really sorry. She is playing with the plastic bags. Plastic bags are not a toy, Peanut. It says it right there on the bag. Actually, it doesn't, but sometimes they do. Wait, she's walking on it. Now she changed her mind. It's like, oof, that hurt. Yeah? Pins and needles. Oh my god, you're crazy. What was I saying before that? Oh, I really like the look of woven fabric, but the whole thing just looks so intimidating. And I know people say that about like pretty much every fiber art. If you've never done it before, it looks super intimidating. But just the whole like a loom, those giant ones, and then like the whole setup seems very complicated to learn. So a little mini one. I can repair my clothes and maybe discover an interest in weaving. I don't know what these little rubber bands are for, but they got 3 different colors. Yep, that's all I had to share for now. I've done nothing today. I mean, I've done things. Obviously, I went to work, but I've done nothing fun fiber-wise. I actually did start again the Pure Mesh Pullover by James N. Watts. I bought the pattern when it came out, tried making it, found it very difficult to knit. I mean, like, the pattern is very simple, but the actual process of knitting a lace weight yarn on like very large US 11, I don't know what that is in millimeters, but very large, my largest pair of needles, it's just been like, it's not fun to me. So I'm like very like finicky trying to get it in, make sure like my stitches don't fall off. It's like I feel like a beginner again, which is not fun for me. As someone with ADHD, I don't like not being able to do things easily, you know? But I just really want one. I want a Pure Mesh pullover, so I'm just sucking it up and I'm doing it. I think maybe perhaps the yarn that I bought is just not ideal. It is a cotton lace crochet thread, that's what it's called. And I know the pattern uses La Bien-Aimée, which only one skein if I really wanted to go for it, but obviously cotton doesn't have the stretch, the bounciness that a wool has, so I am a bit worried that the structure won't be the same. Like, it might be tight. I don't know. I know that I probably won't want to do it again, but I will, just because I love the look of it. But yeah, that's all I've got to share for today.